In this video, we're going to talk about some strategies that can help you guys build muscle. And Jason here is also going to join me. He's going to share some insight he has as well.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm a personal trainer at my own company called Be Better Inc. My wife is my partner, and what we do is try to reach each individual and help them to construct a program that really works for them to build muscle, lose weight, or just become generally healthy.
What do you think is one of the most important things, like when people are trying to actually build muscle?
Well, the first thing to know is why you build muscle in the first place. I can tell you this, you won't build muscle unless you challenge your muscle. So building your muscle can happen all sorts of ways. If you have a very kind of active job like carpentry or tree work, arborist or bricklayer or something like that, this is a highly demanding job where your body will be required to build more muscle just to complete the task over the day. Okay. Unfortunately, here in America, we have a lot of people who work from home and sit at home quite a lot. Now, muscle, if not used, certainly doesn't stay around to consume nutrients. So you'll find that after long, prolonged periods of sitting and being inactive, that the muscle you may have once had after high school has kind of gone to the wayside. So building muscle needs to be consistent, and consistency means you're getting in the gym or you're doing your active job, 3 to 5 days a week, and not just going there to do it, Rolando. As you know, in the gym, a lot of people come to the gym and they pick up the weight. They do 10 reps with the weight. That was their set. They set the weight down. They wait like this.
They're not connected to the gym atmosphere.
Not at all. You need to connect not with just the gym atmosphere, but with the muscle itself in order to build it. It is called the mind-muscle connection. Mm-hmm. So that, I would say, would be the most important part. You need to know your muscle.
Mm-hmm. And the workouts too. Sometimes I think people go in the gym and they do not do the right workouts, you know what I mean? And because of that, muscle growth is just not there.
That's true. Now, a lot of times in the beginning of somebody's program, when they're first starting, muscle growth occurs because they never once before that had challenged their muscle. So muscle growth, you'll see a new guy come in the gym, and especially young guys, like yourself even, come into the gym, and all of a sudden these guys can put on 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle. And you'll get people, the older guys in the gym, who aren't putting any muscle on, even after years and years and years of training, going, oh, this guy's on sauce or something like that, when in fact, no, their body just actually makes that much testosterone, in the case of males in the gym. Females, it's a different process completely for the type of muscle that gets built. But similarly, if you're undertrained and you first start, you're gonna put on muscle fast, even with the wrong program. Okay, so that the person that's training may not know they're doing the wrong program until an injury occurs or until they plateau for a long time. So yeah, there are a lot of people who are not doing the right workout, and I'm going to be honest here and say a little biasly that I think the best decision for a person starting out and trying to figure out what routine to do is to hire a professional to help. You would hire a professional in most other circumstances to figure out and learn how to do things that are critical to your health and wellness.
I agree, yeah, because it's very easy to be doing a workout and then the form is just completely wrong. Like when you're squatting, sometimes I'll see people when they squat, their knees kind of cave in and it's all wobbly, and it's tough to see, you know what I mean? But if someone like you was there, you could definitely give them the right guidance towards proper form, and you can also help build the actual workout routine for them.
Absolutely. So when it comes down to certain lifts, you're in the gym, you're going to see something called ego lifting quite often, and that's where the person doing so just needs to prove, if anything, to himself that he can accomplish this lift, say, be it with the squat, bench, and deadlift. And the squat, bench, and deadlift, the big three, are the lifts associated with powerlifting. A lot of young men and women are leaning towards power sports and strength, and they want to prove that they're strong. I've seen in the last couple of years guys half my age who can lift as much as me. Rolando, you're one of them. I've been doing this working out thing since I'm 7. I'm 36 years old. And genetics have changed since I was a kid, and food has changed, and lifestyle has changed, and people engaging are getting much stronger. But with squatting, deadlifting, benching, you can injure yourself if you do it wrong. I mean, it's not a matter of, oh, you won't put on muscle. You can break your spine and end up being, paralyzed. A quick Google of injuries during exercise will show what happens when a bench press fails because you weren't wrapping your fingers around the bar.
Yeah, it gets pretty scary.
So you definitely want to know how to do those lifts correctly. But those are the foundation for building a big physique. How many times have you deadlifted and you squatted and bench pressed to build the mass that you have, not just sat there and did the accessory exercises? And that's where building the program comes in, knowing that, right? So that's important to also hire a trainer to figure that out.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Remember that the internet has a lot of misinformation.
That's true. Like, you gotta get the information from a lot of sources, videos, articles, and through all that, you'll eventually be able to figure out what's the truth.
Yeah, and if you take the time to learn like you would any other type of knowledge that you want to know, like you go to finishing school or you go to college after high school so that you can learn more into the subject that you're going to do, and even more after that, you go into grad school and you focus on the thing you're going to do directly. Now you'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of hours doing that. Well, your body and health and your mind, they're all no cheaper. You should go all in learning everything before you start. Big thing I want to say, and I want to make this clear, before anybody out there decides that working out and fitness is the way they want to go, which I fully suggest that everybody do, seek a physician and make sure you are safe to start an exercise program. Don't assume you know more than the doctors do with their $1 million worth of equipment. They can hook you up. They can make sure your heart is safe. They can make sure that you're ready to go. You're not going to experience some type of drastic situation while exercising. That's very important, not to be careless when dealing with this type of thing, and it's just exercise.
I agree 100%. And also, when working out too, like taking that time off, I have a lot of friends that struggle with this, you know what I mean? They'll train 7 days a week, stay 6 days a week, and they put on no muscle mass, you know what I mean?
No muscle mass. Yes, it doesn't happen. When embarking on the journey to grow muscles or lose weight, you must know that it's a trifecta. So we're not just dealing with the 7 days a week training at the gym. A lot of people do that. They train at the gym. You hear a lot of people say no rest days, or what's a rest day, or they're posting on the internet and they're actually just doing some other type of exercise on their rest day that may not be their regular program.
It's tough.
And I get it, because people utilize exercise for mental health, and taking a day off throws off their mental health. They feel they're not doing something right. And in fact, when I said it's a trifecta, what I mean is you need to also sleep and eat and train. So a lot of people miss the eat and sleep part and they just do the train part, right? Well, the training by itself, like you said, equals 0 muscle growth. Okay, just the rest part also equals 0 muscle growth.
Very true, that
and
balance.
Just the eating part equals lots of other growth that's not muscle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tricky.
Okay, so sleep. I'm going to explain sleep a little bit, because that's what you mean by rest. Well, rest means not going in and training. It means, if you're going to have to do an activity on your rest day, something like yoga, gentle stretching, long walks, these things are fully acceptable, but you're not going to gas out your glycogen storage during your rest day, because what are you going to have to recover, right? Recovery happens, and muscle recovery happens during REM sleep, which is the deepest portion of your sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. Okay, this is when you're dreaming. Okay, at this point in your sleep, your body is able to initiate the function of rebuilding muscle. When you're up and about and you're doing stuff and this and that and the other thing, recovering muscle is not the thing that is on the front of the brain's list of things to have to do.
Very
It
true.
will go to the wayside. And so recovery never occurs, only breakdown. That's called being catabolic. Okay, if you want to become anabolic, which means growth of muscles, then you'll sleep. And also you'll eat, which is another subject for you at a later date.
All the important factors. And the right proteins too. If you're just going to be having protein powder, that's not going to work out too well. The eggs, the pork, you really have to incorporate a lot of different meats.
Well, now, this is a highly debatable subject matter, which you'll find out in a later interview with Emily. Protein is just the spectrum of essential amino acids needed to be considered a protein. Now, a lot of things have protein in them. A can of beans has protein in it, probably about 9 grams per serving. But it's not a complete protein, so it won't quite go to the protein synthesis that is what you're looking for when you eat this protein. Okay, so a couple numbers here. The average person who's not working out very often is recommended to eat about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of their body weight. So if you're a 175-pound guy, you're going to have about 64 grams of protein in a day, right? The excessive use of protein also isn't good for you either, right? And it does matter the sources where you get your protein from, okay? But you do need to consume protein to have protein synthesis, which is muscle growth. Okay, otherwise you're not going to pull protein out of carbohydrates, and you're not going to pull protein out of fat. You need it to build the muscle.
I like that a lot, Jason. I think you really nailed a lot of good points.
Great.
And I appreciate you for coming on the video.
Thank you very much, sir.
This was in the video. I hope you guys pulled a lot of value from this, because we really tried to give you guys the information from a lot of different sectors that kind of involve fitness, so that when you hit the gym, you'll be knowledgeable and you'll make the right decisions so that you can actually succeed in the gym. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and there'll be a video that pops up here, which you should also check out. I create a lot of videos along these lines, and I think you might find them valuable as well.